to Nana Chat, where we like to chat about everything. Today we have Tolu, my lovely friend from uni.
From college.
Oh, college, where we met at college, and yeah, we've been friends since. And today, yeah, I thought she'd be great to have her on the show to talk about stuff. Okay, to talk about marriage, or certain aspects of marriage. But first of all, before we get into the deep stuff, I just wanted to ask you, so what do you think about Meghan Markle and Harry? Like, what are your thoughts on the whole thing going on?
Wow, right off the cuff. Honestly, I think I get why Harry wants to do this, because it seems like he's trying to maybe prevent what happened to his mum, that will happen to his family. So yeah, I just get the feeling that he knows why he's doing it, and it's not going to be a popular, because I kind of followed some of the conversations on Twitter, and people are saying, oh, she's trying to make him stay away from his family, she's a home this, she's that, and I'm like, okay, that might be the case, but I think he knows why he's doing it, and I have a strong sense that he's doing it to prevent sort of things happening in the future, in the similar events. But at the same time, it's a bit controversial, because if they're trying to be free from the royal family and they're going to Canada, I have a friend who lives in Canada who said apparently they have to like pay some kind of thing for them to be kept secure in Canada.
Because Canada isn't she the queen of Canada as well?
Yeah. So I'm a bit like, oh, that's, well, again, I don't know how.
Well, they can't exactly get rid of the security because
of who they are.
Because of who they are, regardless whether they have the title. For me, I just think it's a bit sad that they're taking away their title. I get that they can't have their cake and eat it, as people keep saying. Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like maybe they should have, like, I don't know, like part-time. People are like, they can't be part-time royals. Yeah. But I feel like maybe they should be able to, because I feel like Meghan Markle can do her stuff because she's not really attached to it. But then when
she is attached to it, isn't it?
Well, she is now, but she had a life before. Whereas Harry, this has always been his life. So what's he gonna do apart from Invicta Games?
I don't know. He can find a new interest.
It's true, but then I was thinking, maybe he can start loads of charities, but then is he really getting money from it? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a bit like... Anyway, I thought it was interesting.
But funny enough, I was on Amazon Prime last week, and there's actually a movie that she was in. It's so funny that she marries a prince.
Is it?
It was before. I can't remember what it's called.
Destiny.
I know, and I was looking like, so basically she's living out a movie. It was so
But you know what? I was listening to the radio, I think it was LBC, and they were talking about how, well, this guy, I think, wrote a book about him or followed for an interview, and a woman, they were like, oh, he always wanted to leave. He's been always looking for a way to kind of detach himself from this life, and he just wants to be like normal. So maybe this was like a way for him to like
that's true.
Get on with his life. But hey, who knows? Who knows? Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, just let us know what you guys think about this whole situation. But I think let them be, man. Whatever. What I really want to talk about is like depending on your husband and how that like makes you feel. You had your appendix removed, and at the time you weren't really married. Like, how did that like affect your relationship then? Was he your fiance at the time? Or he was out? I can't remember.
I think a week after he was.
A week after you were fiance. Yeah. So, really? And that was your birthday?
Yeah. Oh, literally before.
Yeah. Anyway. So how did he act at that time, and like how did that make you feel, kind of thing? What was the vibe, the relationship?
I mean, I know one thing. I think it's the first time he's kind of been in that kind of situation where someone that he was in a relationship with was like not hospitalized, but in hospital. From what I gathered, because I remember he had a conversation with one of his groomsmen actually, and he was like, "Wow." It kind of hit him there and then that this is real life. And he was just kind of, it made him think about, wow, does he want to marry, but kind of like, is he ready to kind of take on
that responsibility?
So it was interesting. I don't think it affected our relationship too tough. I think in a weird way it kind of confirmed for him what he wanted to do, his intention to marry me. So yeah, that was interesting. I can't remember how I felt about the relationship. It was a while ago. No, not too much.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Just that you were in pain.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah, that was not.
I was actually we were on a date when it started to flare up. I remember I was in Leighton, where I used to live, in an Indian restaurant, and all of a sudden I was just in pain. He was like,
"Did you think it was the Indian food? No offense."
No, because you know when you get
Like, this is pain.
No, I was like, this is weird. And then I remember getting a picture of the human body, and I put it against myself, and I said to him, I think it's my appendix. It's only later on when I started to feel like, yeah, it's definitely my appendix, and something was happening. So it was a bit like, ooh, yeah. Do
you feel like having, because obviously you kind of have like a medical, well, you work in public health anyway. Do you feel like that, like having that knowledge kind of helps?
Oh yeah, because I like I said before, I kind of got out the human body picture, and I was like, trying to figure out what it could be, and it does help actually. So
let me just ask, so do you feel like you feel more paranoid because you know more about like medical conditions? Because I definitely feel paranoid.
Yeah, especially when you go on Google and Google be telling you have a headache and you're dying in 2 days time. Like, I don't advise that, even though I still do it to this day.
Yeah.
Because I think there are some reliable sources. Like, if you've got like stuff like NHS, the NHS website, there are some.
But I feel like the NHS can sometimes be very vague, but maybe because they don't want to really scare people.
Too late.
So it's just like,
the person's already on Google. They're scared. That's why they're on Google. It's too late for that. Just go straight in. But no, it does. But then at the same time, I think I value the information that I've learned, because I think it helps other people as well. Yeah. Like, if you kind of know, I think if I was a doctor or a nurse and you have more in depth, it'll be a benefit to your family. So
that's true, actually.
You don't have to sort of like,
Because
I spoke to someone yesterday who was like, oh, my mum was a nurse and she used to give us injections, she used to do all this, so they kind of had that in house already rather than having to go
outside.
So, yeah,
cool. So you don't remember how you felt, but I guess on Lucky's side, my husband's Lucky. Yeah. On his side, he wanted to help him make his decision. Okay. The next thing is that you did break your leg, right?
Now I keep saying I broke my leg.
Not your leg. What did you break? You tore your bone.
I tore my anterior cruciate ligament. So ACL.
Whatever she said.
ACL. And I fractured.
Which a lot of people get from sports, I hear.
It's a common sports injury, and basically it's just literally a tear through the ligament.
Ouch.
And it's unrepairable unless you have surgery. So currently I am still I'm walking around. I haven't had surgery because at the moment they feel like the physio's helping.
Yeah. Are you still doing physio then?
Yeah. It's a lifelong injury, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to be doing physio to kind of making sure that the other muscles and stuff don't give away or anything like that. So
how did you actually do that to yourself? Break your ACL? Let's hear the story.
So I was playing basketball when I did it, and the sad thing was I was only on the court for 5 minutes. And I think
that's not funny.
That is, it is now, because at the time I was so like, this is the worst way to go down. I did not dunk, I didn't do nothing. I hadn't even warmed up yet. And I literally just went to jump to block someone, and then I heard a snap in mid-air. And the first thing I shouted was Jesus, and fell to the floor. Ouch. It was so traumatizing, especially because I heard it. So at the time when it happened, I thought, oh crap, I broke my leg.
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't that. So it was really, really bad. It was
that
painful.
Still sounds painful though.
It really was.
Okay, so fast forward, obviously before you had appendicitis, and then you weren't married there, but then obviously that helped Leke make a decision in a way that he's ready to take on the responsibility. How do you feel in terms of, what do you feel like the difference is from then to when you actually broke your leg? Was he there?
Yeah.
So
he was there.
So he was there both times.
Yeah, he was. Oh yeah, that's true. He was there both times. I mean, I've had in between me having my appendix out and me. So I tore my ACL last year, April. I've had sort of other health issues in between, and I think for me, this one, the ACL one, did actually I kind of saw that it did affect him a bit because. I remember, so when I first had the injury, I wasn't aware of what had happened. When I went to the A&E that night, they said that I had a fracture.
Oh, so they
yeah, so I had an x-ray, they said fracture only. It was only a month later I realised, they told me after I had an MRI that my ACL was torn. So that's when everything was serious. So at the time I was thinking, okay, I have a fracture, they gave me something.
Just fuse your bones and then you're done.
It was a small one, it's literally a small one.
Yeah.
But when they found out it was the ACL, a tear in the ACL, and also other injuries around the knee as well.
So were you still walking on your leg? After that,
no, I couldn't.
Oh, you had crutches, yeah.
Yeah, I had crutches, and I had to and for a whole month inject myself with
anticoagulants.
Yeah, because they wouldn't let me put weight on it. So that was tough. I mean, it was hard, and I remember there was one time in hospital. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this, but when they were just kind of like giving me the diagnosis, he was just really upset because it was like, how did this happen? And it didn't help. The doctor was a bit like, yeah, this is a lifelong injury. Like, you blah, 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 give you all
sometimes they can get
and it's the same doctor I saw twice. It's like he told me the same story twice. And I'm like, dude, like, just what?
I think it's sad sometimes because I feel like no offense to like other doctors out there, but I feel like they can like detach from reality because it's their job.
Yeah.
So I think after a certain point, like unless maybe you have something that really affects you. I know that if I was a doctor, I think after having like Nathaniel, like anything to do with kids, I'd probably be more empathetic. But then I think it gets to a point that, especially in jobs like that, you can people just become
detached.
They're just people. You just do your job. You just need to tell them what you need to tell them.
You just see someone as almost like just a body.
You lose the emotional side, disconnect. But maybe
100%.
that's a coping mechanism. I don't know.
That's true as well, because if you get too involved, it'll be it's not. It doesn't help your job. But I mean, I did see a lot of sadness from him, and just confused. What I was saying before was that when I spoke to the doctor about how I sustained the injury, even he was confused because he was like, normally it's when you land that you sustain the injury, but he doesn't know how I did it mid-air. I don't know as well.
Because you just dropped straight to the floor.
Yeah, I dropped straight to the floor, but the snap I heard was when I jumped. So I was mid-air when whatever happened. So it was a bit like, he was a bit like, this is kind of rare, like. But it was a huge toll on him because I was dependent on him to do pretty much everything.
So how did that make you feel that you had to depend on him, like?
Obviously in the initial stages, so I was out, like not able to walk from April to about July, so about 2 months. Initially I didn't think too much of it because I knew that this is what it is, we have to deal with the situation. I think when it kind of got on, I felt really bad because he was working, he was preparing food, he was helping me shower, he was doing everything, and I know that he hasn't really been in that position before. So it was a lot for him, and it took his toll it did take a toll on him, and I didn't feel great watching it take a toll on him. It wasn't nice because I felt like I don't know, I felt like a burden at that time. And I know he would be like, let's just, get on with it. But I didn't like the fact that I was, in a position where I couldn't help myself, and he was like always helping, because I could see he was physically tired at times, coming back from work and having to prepare dinner, but at the same time he didn't take it out on me, so that was a nice thing as well, because I was making sure I was extra, like not trying to be like everything, because I didn't want him to be like, well, I'm
doing everything.
Exactly.
Do you think that if it was the other way around, you would do that? Do you think you would borderline do that?
Yeah, I would. Passive aggressively. I'll be honest. Look, I'm not perfect. I know God is working on me, but it would be a struggle for me. Because the reason why I know that is because when he rarely gets ill. He rarely gets ill, and a few weeks ago he had a cold. Towards the end of it, I was getting a bit grumbly,
we come on, suck it up. Almost. I feel like I'm more like that, and I don't mean to, but I'm just like, are you really as ill as you're portraying to be sometimes?
Do you know what the thing is?
Maybe that's me.
I think it's society, because it's almost like society painted that men have to be
the strong one.
The strong one all the time. And I don't know, your workplace. In my workplace, talk about man flu, and women don't rate man flu.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
I think we've unconsciously taken that up, and we're look. Because I feel like I feel like men actually, when they get sick,
they take advantage.
They don't take advantage, but they just can't hack it as much as women. But then they go on well, I'm just, do you know what I mean?
Like put a front on that.
No, I feel like it's more like, when we get sick, we kind of just have to get on with it. But when guys get sick, it's like man flu. They're like, do you know what I mean? They do the most. I feel like
really,
it's just a cold.
Because I feel like it's not that deep. I still managed to go about my day. I have a cold, so
I still go to work.
So maybe it's a mentality then.
I think,
but I feel bad afterwards though. If it was the other way around. I think that Yash would be more sympathetic towards me. But
that's weird though, because you would naturally think that women would be more sympathetic.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes women can be different. It can be.
Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of that, man.
I
don't understand, because if this was me, but maybe that's where I'm making a mistake, because I'm comparing it to me, thinking this was me, I'll be fine if I had this. Like,
but everyone's different.
It's true. It's just hard to think like that. Even with other people, like if they go through a similar experience, even if you think like you cope with it that way, in a way, I think you subconsciously expect people to
just cope with it.
If you can cope, then I can cope. Kind of thing. Even like pregnancy, some people have it really bad. But if you see one person and they're cool, and you think, well, she was pregnant, she was like, how come this person what she's doing the most? But everyone's. It's just hard. It's hard.
It is hard. But to be fair, I feel like if Leka tore his ACL, I think it would be hard a lot on me. Because I would just be. But then at the same, I think initially, I don't know if the fact that I'm seeing him in pain like that would make me not want to do it. But I mean, make me not want to be upset. I don't know, but anyway, God forbid that.
God forbid, because sometimes you don't really know to get there. But
Exactly.
Oh, that's interesting. So, what do you think throughout the whole process? What do you think you've learned from that?
That I have a good man.
Oh, that's so cute.
Serious. And that, you know, in a strange way, like I said before, we've gone through other situations. That whatever life throws at us, that we actually become stronger. And I sometimes fear that those situations will make us more apart. And obviously, don't get me wrong, it does get to times where it's like frustration. But when I reflect on the stuff that we've been through in the last like 5 years, and we were advising a younger couple the other day, the friendship has deepened more, the care, the understanding of each other, and that's helped through those. So I think what I've learned is that, and also it's in a sense it's okay to need someone as well. I don't mind. I mean, I don't mind if someone waits on me hand and foot. I really don't mind. But you know, after a while, you just feel like you'll take. I don't want to take the name. And I would also want to reciprocate that for someone else. That if they're in a situation where they need help, then I'll be there, and I'm not going to complain. So I think I've seen a lot about myself through him, and I naturally feel like my husband is a lot more, you know, like he's more willing to just like, let's get on with it, let's just move. When I'm upset, he's like, no, we're not doing this. He's got tough love, so there's a lot of that. But at the same time, I still believe that he's there. That he through what he does, he teaches me how to be a better person. Yeah, so that's one thing.
That's really cute. Did you feel like this affected you financially at all, or not really?
Oh, I don't think so, because thankfully I was in my job long enough to be able to have sick pay. Okay. So thank God that was the case. But no, I don't think so. But if it didn't actually affect us, but we didn't feel it, because our church helped out as well. So they cooked us. They had a rota of people cooking us meals for 2 weeks.
So I guess it's important in that sense to have like a community. And your community was church.
But we were reluctant to ask for help. And I remember our pastor was like, they're not going to want us to do this, but we're doing this. I need people to basically sign up to help give them food. And they did it for 2 weeks straight.
That's really, really cool, because the church I go to, I know that when like I don't know if they do it for other stuff, but I know like when women like give birth, you actually like sign up and you take food to them, like so they have food. So it's so funny when they come to church on Sunday, they're like returning people's plates and stuff like that. But it's really cool to like have a community like that that you know you can depend on. And obviously where I go is like a family church, so everyone like helps each other, and you're kind of all in the same boat, so it's nice to have that kind of community. And lastly, did it affect your sex life? Because you know the leg is the working, but the rest of the body, did it affect you? Yes.
It's so weird. I can't remember. No, it didn't actually.
So guys, there's no sickness out there. I was gonna say, women, there's no sickness out there that should be keeping you from your man, okay?
No. I don't think it did affect us. Obviously, the first initial time was a bit like awkward because I couldn't do much, but
you put your leg on one side.
Don't go.
I'm just saying. So I
creative.
With
these things.
So that's interesting to know. Okay, that's really cool. Yeah, that was for a bit of fun, but actually it's also the fact that
But
it's true.
Like, that's a real life situation.
Yeah, it is real life situation. Yeah, actually, so we're gonna go back, right?
Yeah.
The first question I was actually meant to ask you was, how did you and Leka meet?
Oh.
That was, yeah. How did you guys meet?
Funny enough, I met Leka the first time ever in 2009. So we you know Kemi's he was our choir leader for Jaff in our first year. So she was a choir leader for another for Genesis Youth, and then she was like, I think during the holiday she was like, oh, she invited me, Jermaine, Wumi to an event, and then Leka was there, and I was like literally brief 5 minutes. And
so that's all it took, 5 minutes.
But the thing is, I knew about him before because we had a mutual friend who knew us.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, I'll talk about this guy called Leka," and I'm thinking, okay, who's this? Like, so I didn't think anything of it because it was in uni. I didn't know this person. So that was in 2000 when I first started uni. 2009, I met him. I didn't think
that's a long time ago. Second year. Isn't it?
Yeah, second year. I know.
That seems like forever ago.
It's such a forever ago. And then we met again in 2010 at the choir leaders barbecue. Kemi, I don't know if you remember. She had a 21st birthday thing in her house, and he was there, and I was thinking, okay, who's this guy? Then we properly, officially met and started a friendship in 2011.
She made that clear. They started a friendship.
Because obviously you meet people, acquaintances, and I saw him on Facebook would always say, "Oh, add him as a thing." I'm thinking, I don't know this person.
But you had mutual friends, like, why?
Yeah, we had loads of mutual friends, and it would always suggest it. I'm like, well, okay, I don't know this person. And I used to think, because on Facebook his name was Idris. So I used to think, okay, I think I did actually think, okay, this Idris guy, is he Muslim? I did think about it, but I thought, I'm not going to add you to find out. So it's only in 2011 when I joined the choir after I graduated that, I met him in the choir.
The rest was history.
Yeah.
Cute. Anyway, we had some technical issues, so we're going to just finish up the last part of this. So what I was actually asking Tolu, if there's one advice that she can give people out there in terms of her situation and what she learned from it, in terms of sickness, and obviously she didn't have long-term sickness, but in relation to her situation, what would be the advice that she would give?
I would say the advice I would give to anyone who may be in a similar situation would be that don't let the situation overwhelm your relationship. It's gonna take some adjusting depending on what kind of illness you have. And the person who's looking after you may make mistakes, or they may get upset, or even vice versa. And it's just allowing for space for that person to do that and still loving them through it. Because to some people it might be a completely new situation and they may not react in the most positive way. Don't allow the situation to overwhelm your relationship. It will put a strain in your relationship, but remember that there's that room for people to make mistakes, to grow, to learn, to love, to get closer. And for me, like I said, for me personally, it made me and my husband closer. We went through a tough time. We were both upset, we were both just not happy about the situation, but we made the most of it. And like I said, from my experience, I made it sure I wasn't like making, how would I say? I made sure that I wasn't overworking my husband and making sure that I tried to start doing stuff for myself because I didn't want it to be a burden on him. So in whatever way if you can do that, then do that. But if not, then still build that understanding between each other. And weirdly enough, enjoy the closeness that you guys had. Because we were talking about before how you're both in that situation, so you're the only people that you can lean. You're the only two people who can lean on it, on each other. So and I think for me personally, I saw the beauty in that. Even though it was a tough situation, I still saw the tenderness, the help that we got from each other. So
perfect. So if you can sum that up in a word or like a very short sentence, what would you say?
I've got two. I was saying before that the word would be to offer each other grace, or allow that room for people to do whatever they need to do. But also, like I said before, like don't let the situation overwhelm your relationship.
Don't let the situation overwhelm your relationship, and have grace to each other.
Be gracious.
Be gracious towards each other. Yeah, that was really good actually. Thank you so much, Tolu, for coming here to Nana Chats.
My pleasure.
To yeah, just share a part of your life with the rest of us, and I just hope that someone learned something from it, or maybe, who knows, you might go through it in the future. I hope you don't, but if you do, then at least maybe you can remember something from this. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and don't forget to share it with the rest of your friends, and we'll see you next time. Bye.